I'm getting bold. I can use that. I'll wear a blue shirt. Yeah, he'll be here. He'll have to say, you know, okay.
It's 6 o'clock. We'll call to order the regular city council meeting for Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. And I believe Bob James is going to lead us in prayer.
Dear Lord, we just come to you with thankfulness. And Lord, we just ask that you continue to watch over this country, our state, our city. Lord, we know right now it's chaotic times. And Lord, we just ask that you watch over each and every person, the people in the flood zones, Lord. It's just been wild. And Lord, tonight we just ask that we do a little bit of what you want us to do and help us out in listening and the intelligence to make good decisions for the city of Geneseo. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Page roll call.
Rothschild.
Here.
Kennett.
Here.
Swanson.
Here.
Barnhart.
Here.
Roothouse. James.
Here.
Samowski. Here. Arnold.
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. Next on the agenda would be Mr. Zach.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, City Council. Here's your Geneseo Chamber of Commerce report for July of 2025. I can't believe we're already halfway through the year, but we still have new members joining us at the Geneseo Chamber. We'd like to welcome Gracefully Designed to the Geneseo Chamber. She works on quite a few nice things, some crafts, things like that. Happy to have her join us, as well as Apex Clean Energy. This is a large energy company that's going to be working to bring some wind turbines to the area. And we're going to be working with them to help spread some information about that in the community. So welcome aboard to both Gracefully Designed and Apex Clean Energy. I have a quick chamber board governance update. We had a few changes in our board of directors I just wanted to share with the council. But John Puentes of Inagata DeVita Music has recently resigned as president of our chamber board for personal reasons. But he will still be and continue to be involved with a lot of our events that we do. He's a great influence at the chamber and brings a lot to our events. So we're happy to keep working with him. But we have a lot going on at the chamber. There's no lie about that. So Jenna Rushing, she was our vice president. She will now serve as interim president for the remainder of the year. She's from Hanford Insurance. Brooke Emerson with the Geneseo School District will be our interim vice president. And then we'd like to welcome Bryce Bortgren from Farmers National Bank. He will be serving on the board of directors for the remainder of John's term. So just wanted to share a little bit of some moves of the Rubik's Cube for our board of directors there with you. Let's talk about murals. So we have a new mural that's about to go up at Richmond Hill Park. Mural number 6 will be a donor recognition mural that's on the south side of shelter number 4. The ALU panels have been delivered today. They're at Richmond Hill now. So next week is when the panels will be installed. And then our muralist, local muralist Lexi Clark, she painted mural number 5 and will now be painting the mural on the other side as well. And she's from Geneseo. So happy to have Lexi share her talent again with the community, but keep your eyes open up there at Richmond Hill for the mural progress that's going to take place over the next month or so. Event recaps. We had the Geneseo Music Festival on Father's Day weekend last month, June 13th through 15th. And it was a big success. We had great turnouts. We're estimating over 13,000 people attended over the weekend, over all 3 days. The weather was great, strong turnouts. The parade turnout was huge. The Queen Pageant and Little Miss Geneseo, that was amazing to see. And that Little Miss Geneseo contest is a special thing for our community. It started 2 years ago. This is its second year. But those girls are raising thousands of dollars for local nonprofits. And this was something that didn't exist, a few years ago. And now, thanks to our volunteers, we have Ashley Moore and Kristen Grinnell, and they've really kind of helped spearhead this. And then, with the support of a few others, these girls have been doing amazing things in the community. So I want to acknowledge their efforts overall, the not only the contestants, but the organizers. They do amazing work. We showcased a lot of live music, had a great parade. I'd like to thank Public Works and the police department for their hard work in altering the parade route as we face construction on North State Street. We couldn't take the traditional route straight from the high school to the park, so we had to move around a little from the middle school and over to Russell Avenue. But the parade was a hit, so we made it work. And then just the event's so cool. It's such a great showcase of our community. It's, I believe, an event that we should all be proud of. It's one that I look forward to the most every year. And I can't wait till next year. So the Music Fest was a big hit. I saw most of you there. If I didn't, I beg your pardon, but that's an awesome event. Some upcoming events. So we have the sidewalk sales that will be happening in downtown Geneseo on July 25th and 26th. And what we're doing is businesses can pay to participate to be featured, not unlike the garage sales, how you're on a list, but you don't have to pay to participate in the sidewalk sales. But we are blocking off a section of the street for some live music this year, possibly a little food truck, as well as a few more vendors to set up downtown to kind of really give that extra oomph, almost an event style feel to the sidewalk sales to help drive more traffic to the sales. So that's July 25th and 26th, last weekend of July. And then August 7th will be the Geneseo Chamber's annual dinner. I believe everyone's gotten an invitation here for that. We hope to see as many of you as possible. But that's a great night because we had to kind of reflect on our past year. It should be at your city of Geneseo. Maybe it went to spam. So keep an eye open for it. It was in our newsletter. But it's a great night to kind of reflect on the last year of what we've accomplished at the Geneseo Chamber, as well as awarding our award-winning businesses. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole year, is to award businesses in Geneseo for excellence. So hope to see you at Lavender Crest Winery on August 7th. And then the 26th annual Geneseo Chamber Golf Outing, it's been rescheduled to August 15th at Country View. We've had a lot of moving parts that have required my attention, so I wasn't able to focus on the golf outing as much as I'd like to, and we want to put on an awesome event for our golfers. So we're kind of re-racking and moving forward with the new date, but it should be a great event. That's all I have for my report. So that only takes us through, August 15th. So a little bit going on, but better than, not doing anything.
Any questions or comments for Zach?
Yeah, nice job to the chamber for getting a smooth groove. I've been following them for a long time, ever since they come around, and I just wish that we would have saw a little more people in the park for it. But it's like 2 years ago when you had big band music, the park was full. I'm like, this is good music too. But I mean, just nice job. It was good to hear them again.
Yeah.
So
We hope to have them back very soon.
awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, Zach.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, moving on. Item number five on the agenda would be the city engineering report. Lauren.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to make this short and sweet for you. Contractors finished all the underground work. They're televising the sewer now to ensure that that the sewer is in good shape before they put the concrete down. I know we were contacted by them late last week to go ahead and get some paving hubs out there, so that way they can start their PCC paving work efforts. On well 33, we're continually bugging IEPA on getting the permit in hand. Supposedly it's awaiting signature from the head IEPA guy down in Springfield. So hopefully we'll be seeing that very shortly. That's all we can do is just keep calling them, emailing them to try to keep pushing that along. So hopefully we'll get that very soon. The Exchange Street and Chicago Street sidewalk project. I know last Thursday they poured a good chunk of the sidewalk, and this week I think they're removing the curb and gutter and going to do their ADA approaches at all the intersections. And I believe Chad and I met with the contractor. There's one manhole that needs to be readjusted. It's kind of in the path of the ADA ramp, so we're going to go ahead and get that fixed as well to make it a nice smooth transition across the street. So hopefully they'll be wrapping up with that maybe mid next week, depending on what the weather is doing. As far as the designs and reports that we're doing for you guys, the pedestrian bridge, our structural engineer has been working with DNR, trying to make sure that our design will hopefully not have any hiccups with that. So we're adjusting our previous concept design slightly to hopefully adhere to what they're going to be requesting. So when we send it in for permit and review, hopefully we've already addressed their comments and we can get that permit moving or permit approval done quickly. And then the water systems analysis, we're preparing bid documents to do the 6 deep, 8-inch diameter test well for flow and water quality. So is there any questions?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So when you design the bridge, you didn't contact DNR first? Is that what what I'm assuming?
Well, we follow the typical standards on what they're doing, but now that we're getting to design and permitting process, because a lot of times permits are only good for a certain amount of time. So if we get permits ahead of time, then you either have to get them reapproved or try to file for extension on those. So we have to kind of wait to see when we're actually truly moving forward with the project.
So now you're redesigning it?
We're just adjusting up the grade slightly. So,
Okay, is that costing us more for your design?
no,
Okay, so you didn't, when you designed the bridge, you didn't talk to DNR first to say, hey, what are the specs or what are the requirements?
we provide you guys with concept at that time. We weren't doing permits at that time.
What kind of setback in timeline, Lauren, do you think this will be?
We're getting ahead of DNR, so
Okay.
that way we don't send it in and we'll have them wait and then send us back comments. So is what we're trying to do is head off any potential problems.
So will this affect the budget and what it costs to build it then, if they add any extra to it?
So the bridge may get a little bit longer, but we are going to probably have actually cost savings probably on the engineering, because now we're not, we didn't apply for the ITEP grant. So, or we didn't receive that. So now we don't have to go through IDOT. So our design process is a little shorter on this because we're doing it with local funds now.
So I'm confused. Why would we have to go through IDOT anyway? It's not over the
No,
road.
This is IDNR.
Yeah,
But if we would have got ITEP funds, that's controlled by IDOT. So ITEP funds is Illinois Transportation Enhancement Program.
yeah.
So that's IDOT controlled funding, and then they have review of any time they have funding involved in it.
Okay. So when is this going to be ready for an official review then? When do you expect to hear back from DNR? When do you expect to put a budget together? When is all this going to be done? Because it's taking a while.
We just voted on it last week, Craig.
I know.
No,
2 weeks ago.
I think the point being is, we're just trying to get something done within this
sure.
budget year. So I think I'm as anxious as Craig is to know what kind of timeline.
Oh, for
we're
sure.
looking
I was
at
just saying, I
because-
don't want to sound like it's been dragging out. We just approved it at the last meeting, so
I know.
Right, but I think
it's fair.
the frustration is with the fact now that IDNR is wanting to modify
Oh,
things. So I was only wanting to understand, how long is it going to be? Is it realistic that we can move this forward within this budget year? Correct?
And I want to be clear, so we haven't approved it yet. That's on the agenda for tonight. But what we've asked IMEG to do is to update the construction estimate and the preliminary design. And that's when we came back, with this roadblock here for tonight too. And now that we don't have this done yet, I mean, my suggestion tonight is that the council table this until we get some firmer numbers, but just wanted to.
Yeah, because I don't want numbers and then we have to change it and then it's going to be higher and then it's going to be whatever.
And
I
that's
want
why
a
I was
number.
asking.
Well, and
That's
we
why I was
we
asking
can't control
timeline.
how bids come in either, so,
But you haven't, this is your field of choice. You should have some kind of idea what's
We-
coming in or.
is what we do is we average construction bids for similar type projects. But this year, the bids have been really low. Like we did the estimate for the Chicago Street and Exchange Street sidewalk, and our number was up here, and we had almost all the bids were quite a bit lower than what our estimate was, and we had one that was higher. So we've actually seen very good numbers this year, but we have to just continually use our average numbers that we've been seeing in the recent past. So what those numbers are, we just average them. So now we may get good numbers and we may have an issue like we did out at North Chicago Street. When we did that sidewalk out there years ago, and our estimate was 400 and the bids came in at 500,000, and we're like, holy cow, but we were using average numbers at that time.
So when you do a concept design, the first thing you're not going to contact is DNR to see if they have any specific requirements when you build a bridge?
We know what those are, and that's what we're basing it on.
But then you're waiting to hear back from them then, is that right? To see what the preliminaries are?
We haven't submitted.
Am I
anything
missing
to them
something?
yet. They're adjusting the design in anticipation of IDNR. We haven't submitted anything to DNR.
No, I
We
agree. I
haven't
understand
submitted
that.
any designs, so I don't understand why you're saying what's a holdup when They're anticipating.
If I'm going to build a bridge and I know the DNR is going to be affected, the
Sure.
first thing I'm going to do is contact DNR to see what are the specifications of what you're telling me you know what they are. So you
Again,
made
we
a
haven't-
concept without that and
we
now you're
haven't
adjusting
approved
it.
this yet. So why would they go out and contact DNR, spend money when we haven't approved anything
Well-
yet in our budget?
So I think the holdup is the fact that there's a misunderstanding with what the original concept and number was. And I think, and I understand Craig's frustration with the fact of granted, that was just a concept and an estimate number, but yet we were working forward, our wheels were turning forward in that direction. And to now find out that IDNR wants to change that, which could substantially, I don't mean gigantic, change that. So I'm going to circle back to my original question is, in your best professional experience, when do you think we may have a better look at what a new IDNR approved design and potential budget number would look like?
Well, I was really kind of hoping that we could have it for tonight's council meeting,
But
but my
so
structural-
soon.
Yes,
This
very
isn't-
soon.
this
My
isn't a
structural
large-
engineer was
okay.
out last week because I had to reassign it to another structural engineer. My current structural engineer is having some health issues, so I had to reassign it. And so it's been, so there was a little hiccup on our end about that. So I apologize for that. So.
The other question I have is, in the IEPA, you said they're waiting on the permit for somebody to sign it. Do you not have, is there not somebody down in Springfield that IMEG has that says, hey, we need to get this signed? And you wait for a phone call? and-
Chad, I can only tell you how often Chad and I talk about this. It's,
So you don't have, there's a
Unless you wanna
lobbyist or
call-
something?
Now you want to call a legislator
Yeah.
and have a legislator get
It's-
involved.
Don't we have a legislator downstairs or somewhere here in the building? A
it's
senator?
really remarkable what's going on down there.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it doesn't matter.
No.
The bureaucracy turns at the rate it turns. We've had other clients equally frustrated, not just this agency. And legislators are powerless individually as well.
Need,
These-
urgency has no factor into
These people report to the governor's
Yeah.
office.
Why don't we just go ahead and put a roof on it too? Make it a covered bridge.
Any other questions or comments from the council? I guess, Lauren, the only thing I would add is, obviously with my line of work, I've been down on State Street, and when neighbors see me, I know they're anxious to see this progress. So as an advocate and as the arm of the city, make sure, I guess, do everything you can to keep the contractor
We're
to
going
this
to
timeline.
keep moving forward on it. I'm not going to let it sit there on the
No,
side.
I wasn't suggesting you
So-
would, but you're not down there as much as your field guys are. And then they see the mayor down there checking on a job and it's like, when's this going to get done? People are getting anxious because yes, the first block was like last year, but there's a lot of carryover of those people still with what's going on. So if we can get that pavement in and out of there and at least get the road open would be good for everybody. So,
Yes.
yep.
I agree.
Okay. Thanks,
Yep,
Lauren.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, moving on, item number 6 would be public comments related to agenda items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. Chief, anybody in the lobby? No? And nothing by Ann tonight? Okay, moving on, mayor's comments. I would like to compliment the city council and thank the members of the council that helped with Thrill on the Hill. I would also like to compliment and thank the entire staff. You guys put on a great event, and it's refreshing to be up there and see that it's not only a work event, but you guys are having a lot of fun as you do it too. Across the way with the employees, everybody's in a good mood. It's not a grind to be there. So you're doing something right as a city when you can host that type of event, have that type of draw, patronage, and everybody's having a good time. So a good time. So job well done. City council comments. Any members of the council?
I have one real quick. I know that Zach had commented upon the junior miss contest down at the park. A lot of people don't realize the girls that participated, especially in the juniors, they had to come up with a civic organization that they would get donations for. And my granddaughter Tilly, who got second runner-up, won that event by raising for the Henry County Humane Society $3,300.
Wow.
And all the girls together raised over $10,000. $10,000 is a lot of money for these little girls. That's awesome. It's just something that I have a lot of pride in. But I just want to let you guys know that my granddaughter kicked butt.
Craig?
I just wanted to commend the city again, taking the donations down on one of the streets. We were there for a while, and I know they had the red, white, and boom going on in the Quad Cities. We had a lot of Iowa plates, which just says something about the community and what's going on up there. So, I mean, that's just a shout out to you guys. You did a great job.
Yep. Anyone else? Okay, item number 9, city administrator comments. Brandon?
A couple of reminders first, just to the council. If you want to attend the IML conference, ask that you let me know about that by tonight so we can get those signups done. I see that Officer Berthoud is here. I don't know if you want to touch on National Night Out. I was going to make a pitch to have council volunteers up there, but would you guys like to update anything on National Night Out? Or? Yeah, podium.
Thank you. I guess I have to work on this, right? Yeah, Officer Patterson and I have been working on National Night Out. He's done a lot of the legwork as I've been out at conferences and stuff like that. So we are working. We've also made some contacts today, making sure that everybody is on board with fulfilling their volunteering to make sure this evening goes as it has before. It's new for us. This is kind of I know that Jessica Damewood has taken the reins and has set the bar very high. So we're hoping that we can fulfill that and make sure that our community and our kids and everybody that shows up enjoys it just as much as they had in the past. So the next meeting, I'll have some more information for you. But thank you for putting me on the.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to step out now. But no, we're definitely working. We're working together. It's a good thing that Officer Patterson and I are working together tonight because we're going to be able to talk more and collaborate more on getting some things set so that at the managers meeting either tomorrow or next Wednesday, we can give you guys some set in stone information.
You need to work on your shyness.
Yeah. Is that, it's given me, I've had a few interviews in this room before, so I'm just getting over the PTSD, but no, everything, you guys are doing a great job. And the fact that everybody's smiling at me makes it much easier. So.
You're the new voice now.
No, I can't do that. I've got no, we got Officer Shoemaker back here that is setting the bar that high. So.
Thanks, Amber.
Some shoes to fill on that one, but I appreciate you guys. Thank
Yep,
you. Very much.
appreciate it.
Talk to you guys soon.
Yep.
So let Chief Disterhoff or Amber know if you can volunteer for the event. I think council usually does the serving of the desserts and brings desserts for serving up there too. So the chamber annual dinner, as Zach said, is August 7th. Please let me know if you would like to attend that. We'll get you on the list for that. And then the chamber golf outing, if you'd like to represent the city and play as a council member, let me know. It's August 15th. And then, as the mayor already said, thanks to the council and staff for everybody's efforts with Thrall on the Hill. Everything went really well, and got a lot of great compliments on the show and the spasmatics and everything that took place up there. And then lastly, we'd like to welcome Jamie Shoemaker to the meeting tonight. So I had the opportunity to go to the CIT conference in Peoria and see Jamie present to a statewide audience down there, along with accepting a major award at the conference for all the work that she's doing with the Impact program here in Geneseo and the dementia-friendly initiatives. So they made a really nice video when Jamie got on stage, and I asked if we could get that video to show the council and the public. And then after we play this, Jamie would like to update anything that's going on with the program, or Chief, or the council has any questions, you can ask them.
That's the video. Does anybody have any questions, I guess, first off with our impact program? No. Recently, we just had our ice cream social. I don't know how many people were able to attend. We had a lot of our dementia task force members there, and we raised $1,283, and Central Bank, while they were on scene, said that they would match. So we are going to be receiving a check from them. So we will have raised a total of $2,500 and some change to go towards our impact program. Those funds, obviously, you guys have, Matthews keeps me updated on all of those with a spreadsheet. And so with that information, we use that money for people coming transient into our community, people in our community. We've paid utility bills. We do recently, the majority of the money that's coming out right now goes to our bracelets. We currently have, I believe, 4 bracelets out. We're getting one back tomorrow because unfortunately the person with dementia is actually going into a facility. So we have 4 dementia bracelets out currently right now. And those bracelets are giving peace of mind to the caregivers, as well as we have located individuals recently. And he actually went to another facility too in Toulon. So the money that we're raising is going back into the community. We don't charge anybody to have those bracelets. I have talked to you guys about these bracelets before, but it's providing peace of mind. Officer Berthoud and myself, I always tell people this is our baby. We will go to the houses every 60 days. We have to replace the batteries from these bracelets. So we get to meet these community members and see how much, I mean, it's really hard on these caregivers, and to offer some support for them when their loved one is suffering with dementias. It's very fulfilling. Her and I, we always joke because it gets very emotional when you're talking to these family members, and I can't be in a room with her without crying when we're doing this sometimes. So it does get a little hard, but the money that we've raised comes to the community and it goes back into the community. And not only that, but with our impact program and the dementia task force, I really believe that our community collaboration is what's made us successful, but it's also putting our police department more into the community. So we're really proud of everything that we're accomplishing. And I know that I received the award and I'm very humbled to get the award, but it's Officer Berthoud, I can't thank her enough, and she's going to be yelling at me from behind me right now, but she has done so much with the dementia task force, with our impact program. We work tirelessly on our days off and everything, and to make sure that people who need help to get connected to services, her and I are constantly collaborating with people in the community to make these things happen. So we're very proud of this program. What you guys have in front of you, Chief Distroff just placed there. This is our first responder conference that they actually just referenced. I invite all of you to come. I worked kind of hard on this throughout the year. We received a grant from the state, from the CIT, to pay for Matthew Griffin to come speak. He is coming from New York. And I believe after this year, his speaking fee is going to go up significantly because he is a high, everybody's wanting him right now. So he wrote a book, Journey to Midnight. He is a first responder who also, and a veteran who tried to commit suicide. And this is his story. So he is going to come speak to first responders in the area. So I invite all of you to come to our conference. We do provide Hammond Henry. We collaborate with them. They pay for our lunch. Augustana Police pay for our breakfast. We get the venue for free, and all of our speakers are for free. So I'm pretty good about asking people for money. So not to toot my own horn. So but yeah, any questions?
Hey, Jamie, just real quick.
Yeah.
As a police officer for 15 years and a paramedic for 30 years, when I had to deal with these kind of patients, there was nobody. You took them, you had people walking around going like, what do we do? Where do we go? Who's going to help us? And no help came. So you basically dump them off at an emergency room because we didn't know what else to do with it. And the fact that now there's how can you not be emotional about this?
I cry a lot. I'm not going to lie.
I mean,
we do get emotional.
And to be recognized, not just in the city, but in the state. You're a keeper.
I'm very proud. I'm very fortunate the reason why I feel like I'm successful, is because of our administration and this city. I can't brag enough about our community collaboration. I'm telling you, everybody has been so, once the program started, yes, getting the work together to do these things is really hard, but I'm telling you, our community came out in full support, and that's why I think we're successful.
Well, it's your hard work and diligence is definitely noted.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
You make me, I'm
And
not emotional, so thank you. Anybody else? I know, that's exactly why. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, we'd love to have you guys at the conference. There is obviously no fee or like that. It's first responders from all over, social workers, nurses. Hammond Henry provides the nursing CEUs. We do, I collaborated with Unity Point for ambulance members to have CEUs, and then obviously law enforcement. I have not gotten to social worker CEUs yet. It's just a little bit more work. So, but we provide these credits for them to come in. We have Dr. Jeff Sims, who is from our area. He is going to be speaking on involuntary petition and the history of that. We have a veterans panel. So veterans actually from our community, as well as other communities that are going to come and speak on veteran mental health. And then we have Matthew Griffin. I will be speaking on our impact program, obviously. And then we have Foster's Voice. I don't know if you guys have seen stuff in the Quad City area. They lost their son who was 19 to, he died by suicide. They're going to tell their story. They go last because I have heard that story and it does get you very emotional. So we have some really, really cool people coming to speak. We also have about 23 vendors this year. All of these vendors come for free. I don't charge anybody for that either. All these vendors are emergency situations. So we have Project Now, Freedom House, Gateway. We'll have Soul's Legacy there, which she's from our area too. Just different resources. So first responders are able to connect people to those needed services. One thing as a patrol deputy on third shift, when you have something like this, you're like, who do I call? I don't even know where to start. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we're educating first responders on these resources. So, yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Casey, Dean, you got anything? Casey? No? Okay. All right. Thanks,
Well
guys.
done. Thank you.
You know, this city's got to be proud of this kind of stuff. There's not many cities that get this kind of notification and this kind of diligence from their officers. I am so proud of our department.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Item number 10 would be Finance Director comments. 10.1 would be the Treasurer's Report and Capital Assets Report as submitted.
All right, first is the treasurer's report. We did receive our first allotment of our tax revenues. So those tax funds, you'll see that those have increased on there. And we haven't really had a whole lot of big things come out. In the bill packet, there's a large amount coming out for Langman, but at the next meeting, I will have it where it ties out to the audit. Questions on the treasurer's report? Next is the budget book. And we're halfway through the year. So I always look at salaries on this. And I mean, that's one of the things I feel like it's hard sometimes for us to stay in line with. And all of our accounts are either at or below the 50% mark. Except for one department, and it's solely because retirements and cash outs and things like that, and that's really close to 50% too. So those are all nice to see. And then our normal revenues coming in, those are either at 50% or higher. State income tax this year, I don't know what's going on, but it's going through the roof. So that's almost at 100%. I mean, it's at 78%, and we're only halfway through the year, so that's good to see. Questions on the budget book? Next is capital worksheet, and there were only two major changes. One on here was the police vehicle. We did get the invoice for that, so you'll see that on here that that has a little bit higher of an expense on it now. It's not completely outfitted, so we'll still have some more expenses come through. And then the power plant roof invoice came in for that. Questions on this capital sheet? Next is the department updates.
I only have two updates right now. So North State Street Underground Project. This is moving along quite nice. We have the east side of North State Street. All the devices are in, the wires pulled in the right of way. The transformers have been heated up. On the west side, we have bored the duct in the right of way. We have bored to all the houses. When I wrote this, we had 6 house services left. We completed that today. The guys will start pulling the wires and setting the devices on the west side. We'll get that energized, and then we'll start converting all those homes. So this project's going along nice. And then the power plant lower roof has been completed. And you'll see that invoice in the bills. That's all I have. Any questions?
Couple of dates for Public Works. On the North Water Tower, we have made contact, signed agreements with Dixon Engineering. They should be coming July 20th through the August 11th, so we can stay on our timeline for the bid letting and proposed work for bid letting this October, November. On the well, we do have the interior steel completed. The pipe materials are in hand. We are just waiting on the meters, then we will get that pipe fitting completed into the well house. The electrical materials have been ordered for the exterior and interior. Then the electrician will get started on that. And one of the issues we had with the permit the last few, I'd say month or so, they want the standalone generator to, to get that done. So next month or probably at the cow meeting, I'll have prices and we'll bring that back to the cow meeting for approval. And then 2025 milling projects. We have a bid opening on the 16th of July for that. Any questions?
Jeff, is Dixon Engineering
The one we had problems with earlier in the year.
Okay. Nope. They specialize and they do the water tower inspections for multiple engineering firms around here.
Thanks, Jeff.
Casey? Just two minor updates. Our squad car is still at Federal Signal. We're in the queue, so they have many, many cars that they have to get through. So hopefully ours hits their technicians here pretty soon, but no significant update there. And then with the range update, the structure there is enclosed. Kurt CI from CI Construction is going to help out and finish some things up for us. There's a training facility that we do for police officers mobile team. It's our local unit. And they have decided to move to a different location at Black Hawk College. So Gene was able to salvage some of the items that they had that are really good condition. And we're going to be using those for that range building that's built. So again, finding stuff for free, kind of a specialty of ours. Yeah, that's Eric's crew. I'll be, nothing's ever free, but Eric's crew is getting ready to do the wiring. That's all I got for that update. Everything else is the projects have been completed. Anybody have any questions?
Thanks, Chief.
Okay.
Richmond Hill Park stage. So everybody was up there for the 4th. You saw the pad and foundation is complete within the next 3 weeks. Signature Big Timbers will be starting on the overhead Douglas fir timber structure up there. That should be done by the beginning of August. That project will be wrapped up. We still have a few things that we want to do with our partnership with the Girl Scouts on a informational nature board and some project thanks on that board and a little bit of landscaping that'll go in as well this fall around the area up there. And then I think we talked about the pedestrian bridge project enough probably in engineering. So that is on the agenda again, but I guess my suggestion would be, as Lauren said, we're close to having something shored up with a revised cost estimate and some more information. So we could review that at the later meeting this month and make a decision probably at that time on how to move forward.
I thought the platform base went really well. I noticed that they had to lay down cardboard and wood to create a path from the parking area to move all the band equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me wonder, do we need to think about putting in a sidewalk or something? Because if it was muddy out, it might be really hard for bands to move things there.
So we only did that because, and thankful to Doug Ford and Sons, they donated sod up there about 10, 15 days before that event. So we didn't have a mud pit during Thrill on the Hill. And so we really only laid that because the sod was still a little sloppy and because we've been watering it so much, but it should be okay moving forward. But maybe a future sidewalk, I don't know, but it's not on the radar right now.
Yeah. I just wonder, if it's muddy out, you have a nice covered platform, but then you'll be going through mud or if it's raining out. Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, it was great.
And then I had one additional thing I wanted to say. We had $3,075.72 donated at the gate.
Yeah, I thought people were pretty I mean, Brett and I worked together and I thought people were pretty generous with what they gave out. So
Especially after I told you to stop asking if they want change back.
you never know with some people. I just, like, just trying to be nice and just, courteous here.
You don't get to.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report and capital asset reports as submitted.
Motion by Arnold. Second by Samosky. Roll call.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Roothouse, James,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 11 would be the consent agenda.
11.1, approval of previous minutes. 11.2, R-25-08, surplus property declaration for PD bicycles. And 11.3, omnibus method.
I'll make a motion to approve using the omnibus method and to approve items 11.1 through 11.3.
Second.
Motion by Barnhart, second by Arnold. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Roothouse, Barnhart.
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild.
Yes.
Okay, item carries. No unfinished business. Moving on, item number 13 under administration. 13.1 would be the lease agreement with IDNR.
So we have two city water mains that cross the Hennepin Canal and the waterways that are on DNR ground out by Lock 24. This is just a renewal of an agreement that we have with DNR because we crossed their property. The current agreement expires at the end of next month. There is no money exchanged in between the parties for this.
Motion to approve the license agreement between the Illinois Department of Natural Resources and the City of Geneseo for a 5-year term from 9/1/25 to 8/31/2030 as presented.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Swanson. Roll call.
Kennett,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
Roothouse, Swanson,
Yes.
Rothschild.
Yes.
Okay, item carries. 13.2 under administration would be O-25-09 amendments to the Chapter 30 solid waste of the Geneseo Code of Ordinances.
Okay, so we made the changes as discussed in the last meeting to the agenda cover sheet and the proposed ordinance. This is the fourth meeting that we have discussed the changes to the burn pile operations and the refuse code. This is written to take what was discussed in the last meeting with selecting option A for the outside parties, including the tree companies entering the burn pile site. That is the $30 per load model that we discussed at the last meeting. And then the changes for residential customers, as discussed, we will be moving to the 3 Saturdays for a leaf-specific drop-off in the fall, 3 specific days for brush drop-off in the fall, and 3 specific days for brush drop-off in the spring per the discussion. Those are the highlights. We kept in here the half-price yard waste stickers for the month of November. That was also discussed. And then the ordinance is written to reflect all of these recommendations.
Motion to approve O-25-09 and the associated fee schedule changes presented.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Kennett. Roll call.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Roothouse, Samowski,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, item carries. 13.3 pedestrian bridge.
Motion to table.
Second.
Do we need a roll call on that? Okay, motion by Arnold, second by Kenneth, roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Roothouse, Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild.
Okay, item carries. Item number 14, 14.1 would be the payment of city and utility bills.
I do have one. I think it's kind of funny. Okay, well, I saw the part with the roof, the building. Anyway, what is flock safety?
Flock is the license plate readers that we have.
Oh, that's what I thought. I just thought it was funny. When it says flock here. Okay. Let me just, that's what I figured it was, Casey. But I had to ask because it was funny. Well, I thought it was funny. Yeah. Okay, so it's my humor. Okay. Anyway, I think that was it. It was that and the roof, but.
Motion to approve city bills is presented.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Samowski, roll call.
Rothschild.
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Roothouse, James.
Yes.
Samowski,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, item carries. Number 15 would be public comment related to all their items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. There's nobody in the lobby and Ann's shaking her head no, so.
Something that Jamie reminded me of, did we ever find out if the city is getting more due to all of our property tax increases? Because I know we talked about that and Jamie commented that our property tax is surprisingly high.
We will not receive anything more than what we request.
Interesting.
You said income tax, right?
Property tax.
Was that?
Today,
That you
she
know-
said, she noted that the income tax was
Oh,
higher.
income
but-
tax. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I was
I
thinking
could
property tax.
probably tell you why that is, but.
Motion to ask Paula what that is.
Second.
Income tax was up higher, I think, because interest rates were higher. And we had a lot of people that had to pay tax on their savings accounts that never had to before because the interest went up. Just a thought. Could be, there's probably a lot of things that go in on that, but we saw a lot of that.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Swanson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned.
A recycling bin? Yeah, in the back. It's in the, copy room.
So I did call.